welcome to Wargamer Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. Today is going to be a little bit different because we have Dan from Minor Creations.
Hi.
And he does laser cut stuff. He's going to talk a little bit about what he does, what kind of products he's offering, and as some people that watch the channel know, we're moving into Malifaux in addition to War Machine. So a lot of the stuff that he does is useful in the Malifaux community, and probably some of it for the War Machine community as well, but I don't know exactly how much crossover there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when did you get started with the
So
laser
we
cut
got the machine just before Christmas, so we actually haven't had it that long.
Really?
So all of the stuff that actually I've been working on has all been designed in just the last couple of months.
Holy crap.
So, yeah, so that's why we're kind of in the process right now of developing up some instruction videos for doing assembly videos, and then everything will start going online and people will be able to buy stuff. So.
For sure. Well, and we'll be helping out with some of the instructional stuff, so that'll be cool. How many different kinds of buildings and stuff do you guys currently have designed or developed?
So currently we've got 2 lines developed for buildings. We've got a line of Western buildings. It's just very simple single-story and 2-story variants of buildings. And then we've also got the Adobe series of buildings, kind of the more Mexican style, desert kind of huts.
Okay.
And that we've got 3 different styles of buildings.
Okay, that's pretty sweet. And how can people... Well, first off, what's your website?
It's minercreations.com, M-I-N-E-R creations.com.
Okay, and we'll have a link in the description and all that stuff as well. And what is the average price range for stuff, so people can kind of get an idea?
So the buildings themselves, they're pre-painted buildings. So like the Western buildings are all pre-painted. The 2-story version of that is $45. The 1-story is $25.
Okay.
The Adobe buildings, there's a smaller kind of, I think it's a 5x4 building, is $20. There's a 6x5 building, which will be $25, and then there's a variant that is a large footprint, about 10 inches by 5 inches, with a 2nd story on it as well too. That actually will be $45.
Wow! So and now these are all Canadian prices, American prices?
These are actually Canadian prices. So as far as the American listeners go, that's practically free, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, first off, I've been looking around at a lot of MDF kind of stuff because it's really the most cost-effective way of getting into like a table worth of stuff. So for putting a little effort into painting them up a little bit, you're going to get a nice piece of terrain that's not terribly costly. And if you're in the States, especially, you get a 30% discount buying
off Canadian prices.
Canadians.
Shipping will be a little bit higher though, and then there's also the potential of duty. But we're not too far from the border for large enough orders. I can probably end up getting them shipped from the States as well too.
Well, for sure. The really cool thing that I like about the pre-painted stuff specifically is so I mean you get basically you've got your 2-tone sort of deal. You've got your wood colors and you've got your building color. Yeah. But even just doing a little bit of a wash on them, and you're basically done. Like, you don't have to put in...
Yeah, so you can see basically coming in that the way that the laser is actually etching is lasering the material. It actually does give it that kind of weathered actually look to it as well too.
Well, for sure. So this, just to kind of confirm or roll back a little bit here, this sheet, is that one building, or what is that exactly?
This actually is a portion of the 2-story building.
Oh,
so
wow.
Here's the 2nd floor of it. So, yeah, and once we've actually gone through and assembled them, you can kind of splice something back in there to show just exactly what they look like.
Oh, for sure. And we'll have the build videos and stuff on the channel as well. So anybody who sees this can hopefully reference them relatively in quick succession. I'm hoping to have everything up kind of at the same time. So, but yeah, that's actually why don't we get a good look at each one?
Yeah.
And then I can
So like this is the Adobe series here, and you can actually take a look that we've got some really nice fine details in the brickwork and stuff in here.
Really cool.
And so same thing with like some bullet marks and stuff as well too. And once again, the way that the lasering goes, it actually gives it that kind of wet, sandblasted kind of look to it.
So why did you call them the Adobe series?
Well, Adobe buildings are actually what they're called. Actually,
really?
This style of building that actually has the kind of wooden. You'll actually see a little bit better when it's put together, but there's actually some wooden kind of pieces that stick out through here and actually come out.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen those kinds of...
so those are pretty synonymous with, because I think it's actually method of how they're made. It's like a combination of brick, straw, and mortar.
Okay.
And that's actually where the word adobe comes from. The actual adobe
Really?
that you actually are accustomed to is not actually.
So that's news to me. That's something I had no idea.
And then you can actually see the walls here too, and actually in here you can see the walls. They've actually got detail on the backside as well too.
Wow.
Some of the different cracks and stuff.
That's cool because I mean you see a lot of laser kits and they tend to be fairly like just one-dimensional, one-sided, and this is a little bit different, which is really sweet.
Yeah, well, the buildings on the inside, obviously, even with Malifaux, we use the insides, but we don't tend to play a lot on the inside. So the detail is pretty plain on the insides of these buildings, and that's just to help keep costs down, so that people can.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Buy lots of buildings. So you can see there's a little bit of variation in color that's available. So
okay, so this is more of a stark white, whereas this is like
exactly.
off-white.
Yeah, same thing with the western buildings. So this is the red. We've got blue. We've actually got like a kind of a greeny blue.
Okay.
We've got a gray, and we've got a few other colors as well too, a green and such. So those will all be shown on the website, the different colors.
Oh, for sure. I like the red there. Is there a price difference in terms of the colored versus not colored or not?
Well, right now, actually, we're not even considering actually selling uncolored versions.
Oh, okay.
Everything's going to be colored, and the prices I was actually just quoting is all based on the actual pre-painted color price.
All right, that's fantastic because I mean I know if you look at some other companies, again they have kind of like a surcharge for the colored version versus the not colored version. And then I mean ultimately if you don't like the colors, just paint over it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's cool.
And as you can see, basically, I'm sure there's going to be enough color variations. Like with the western buildings, we've actually got currently 6 colors available, and we're looking at exploring having more colors as well too. So I imagine, well, that's just because when you're having a street of western buildings, you don't really want to have all of them look the same. As well too. So.
That was the big problem with kind of like the stuff that I've seen already is that if you were to get like their kit or whatever it is that they're offering, you end up with a lot of stuff that looks exactly the same as the other stuff. You're like, yeah. So either you go to multiple providers, which is kind of a pain in the ass for shipping, or just...
So for these, like obviously these buildings, like if you bought a lot of the one-story buildings, they would all look the same. What we're offering is actually is packs, whereby there's like different kind of labels for the buildings themselves. So different optional ways that you can actually kind of vary up what type of building and stuff they are as well too. And then we'll actually give people options to be able to personalize those as well too if they wanted to, do like Joe's General Store or stuff like that as well too. So.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, and it gives you a lot more value for your kit as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, and another piece that we're really proud of and we're really happy about is the card box, which has generated lots of interest.
Yeah,
on a weird place for. So this is the actual. This one here is the actual Star Wars variant.
Okay.
So you can actually have your damage cards on one side and actually carry your dice on the other side. But then it's also a standard playing card size. So, for example, like a lot of people have really nice custom decks and such.
Mm-hmm.
They can fit those inside.
Can I take a quick look at them?
Yeah, no problem.
Because I saw pictures of these.
So this is the amazing part about it is everything I always get asked is how strong is the hinge?
That is,
and I can swing it by the hinge, no problem. And it's actually quite strong. Now, if you have a 4-year-old like I do, they will find a way to break it, because if you actually took it like right to the thing and then pressed on the hinge, which is like really going above and beyond, it is breakable. But for the most part, it's quite durable. And then it's actually got a sliding latch mechanism that actually holds it closed when it's not in use. So
did you guys design this one as well?
So this one actually, I got the design somewhere else, but I've modified it. There was some problems with it that needed to be fixed, so it could actually work well with the laser that we've got.
Okay, that makes sense. This is really cool. Like having no moving parts means you don't have to worry about, or metal parts really for that matter, so you don't have to worry about assembly or any of that.
Exactly.
Nonsense.
Well, there is some things that have to be watched for when assembling it, and you'll see that in the assembly guide.
Okay.
But there's that they're really minor hiccups, and the nice thing is that allows us to kind of keep some costs down too. So this box here, we'll be selling this for $15 Canadian, which is I think around $12 US.
Or less, yeah.
Or less, and then also that is coming with a little bit of personalization. So now the big problem here is copyrights. I can't really infringe upon copyrights and stuff, so if people have artwork that they've just found around, I won't be able to kind of add that stuff on it, but you can actually see the detail level is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it'll I can work with some images to actually get practically everything too, and you can see there's different levels of etching and stuff in there as well too.
I think
like especially in here, right? So I am capable of actually taking most grayscale pictures and actually doing some pretty nice work on it. In fact, actually, I'll just grab the one
That's crazy.
I did it for you guys specially.
Fantastic.
That has your guys' logo on it.
That is
and that's
so cool.
actually how it turned out. Just stock. I didn't even actually play around or do anything with it, but you can actually see that it actually is a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it does the
black. It actually does do some more depth. In fact, you can feel the depth here because that was black, and that's actually
well, our logo is a little weird because it has like a gradient in it, which is probably a bad choice, but
works
it
just
actually
fine
worked
for
out
this,
just fine. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah, so so some simple personalization if you just want your like name on it, or if you have like a club logo or stuff like that that you wanted to put on it, that's stuff that we can do as well too.
But if you want to put like, the Imperium stuff, maybe not.
Yes, if you wanted to throw, for example, one of your favorite pieces of weird artwork or anything on it, that's also gray areas as well too. For the most part, like weird would probably be okay with it, but I don't really want to go through the potential implications of that. If they wanted to maybe try and contact particular artists and ask for permission, and forward that permission off to me, but it's not something I want to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want to expose yourself to.
If it becomes, and it also, if it becomes popular enough, it may be something later on that I actually consider approaching weird and seeing about licensing or stuff like that.
I mean, that's not a bad option as well.
But that's not something we've currently explored. So.
Okay, well, that's really cool. So, this is
what it comes
flat
with,
piece.
and then you can kind of see like.
Okay, so you want to separate them a little bit, and then.
Well, you can. It'll do it actually as you do it too, right? But you can actually kind of see and feel, and it's actually pretty amazing to.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I must say, when I first saw the living hinge, that's what they call it. I was blown away. I was like, wow, I'm wondering how strong that was and how it actually works and all this other kind of stuff. It's magic. It is just magic. I have no idea, but it is amazing, and I am quite happy to be able to offer it to people. So, like I said, 15 Canadian. I think is more than reasonable for a beautiful deck box that is a huge conversation piece. I have to say, like, I had all the pre-painted buildings and stuff out at the Las Vegas Open, and the thing that I got asked the question most about was the deck box.
Really?
More than anything else. Just because it's just such an attractive conversation piece. It's such a unique thing, the living hinge.
And then, I mean, there's that. Plus, I mean, people have seen Western-style MDF buildings before. Yeah. Like, the concept itself, they haven't seen these ones necessarily, but the concept itself isn't something that's foreign to people. Whereas this,
that's true.
I haven't seen anything. I hadn't seen these until I saw the one you posted on.
Yeah.
Was it A Weird Place?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is a Facebook group, if you're not aware of it, for Malifaux stuff. And you should probably join it because there's lots of people there. But yeah, that's really cool. What else do we need to know? Oh yeah, so we've got minorcreations.com.
There is also a Facebook page, which is also Minor Creations. If you search for Minor Creations, you'll find us there too. We do also do custom work. Like if somebody actually wanted for their event to have like special tokens or something like that.
Okay.
I can also actually etch like glass mugs and stuff like that as well too. So and like glass, leather, fabrics. The laser will cut through quite a few different things. So if you've actually got ideas in mind and you wanted to try and poke us through the webpage or through Facebook, we can certainly talk to you guys and do some consulting as well too.